It is a budget for all Singaporeans, because when Singapore thrives, every citizen benefits.
Families can look forward to new support measures, as well as familiar vouchers, credits and grants. New initiatives for SkillsFuture will give the workforce more training options. And for companies, major investments in research and development infrastructure and AI adoption.
I think this year's budget is one that is aimed to rally Singaporeans to unite and be resilient as we reach our 60 years of nation building.
There's also a strong push for Singapore's relevance on global stage with investments in innovation, technology and talent.
It is a budget for the future, tackling immediate challenges while laying the groundwork for a stronger, more resilient tomorrow.
Budget 2025 unveiled a slate of initiatives, both new and existing, to support families.
The good thing about this budget is that there are credits that are given to each person, each Singaporean person in the household, rather than a per household basis.
This year, there are SG60 vouchers for everyone 21 and up, as Singapore celebrates its 60th year of independence. Families with 3 or more young children can look forward to strong support with the Large Family Scheme. Parents will get up to $16,000 in additional support for each third and subsequent child born on or after February 18th. One component of the new scheme also covers families that are already larger. Families like the Kwars, with at least one child aged 6 or younger, will receive $1,000 each year until the child turns 6. This applies for the third and subsequent Singaporean child.
So his youngest daughter is 5 years old. So he will, because of that, qualify for the Large Family Life SG scheme. He can get $1,000 for his daughter for at least 2 years until she reaches 6. Mr. Kwa and his family is likely to get at least about $5,500 in terms of support.
The Kwa family have been looking forward to budget measures that will help them boost their savings and buy a home of their own. 61-year-old Kwa Chi Hien, his wife Shanti, and their 3 children live in a 2-room rental flat. Shanti, an Indonesian citizen with permanent residence in Singapore, is 38 years old. Their children are aged between 8 and 5. Money has been tight, with only Kwa working.
My total income next is 1,250 around that. So for my expenses, it's more than this amount. It's around 1,008.
Now there's some relief. Shanti managed to get a job, and they're hoping that this will allow them to save more for a home.
Then we can give the kids like their own privacy, not like now all clumped together.
The Fresh Start housing scheme will be very useful. The increase in grant up to $75,000, and on top of that, the ability to buy 2-3-room flats at a reduced lease, which will bring down the overall housing pricing, will at least make it more affordable for him to own his own home.
There's also welcome news from the budget for the Shamsha family. Even a day out in the park has been rare for this family, ever since their 15-year-old Shakira suffered a stroke 4 years ago.
She needs help to bathe, to walk, and also to put on her own clothes.
50-year-old Norizan is Shakira's main caregiver. Her husband is the sole breadwinner. He works as a golf course landscape technician, earning $3,200 a month. Their expenses come up to about $2,800 a month. And with 5 mouths to feed, they are careful with how they spend. Eldest daughter Nur Shafika is 21 and is looking for a job. Their son, 19-year-old Adrian, is studying in a polytechnic. Shakira attends a government-funded special education school. Their school fees are fully subsidized. So are Shakira's medical expenses. But Nurizan is concerned about transport costs for Shakira when she goes for her medical checkups and physiotherapy. If the appointments are too early or run late, they have to pay for a taxi.
Nurizan's family, we can look at them actually getting almost about $12,000 in terms of support. She has home caregiving grant of $400 a month. The budget has announced that to be increased to $600. On an annual basis, we are now talking of support of at least $7,200 a year.
Nurizan's biggest worries go beyond cost of living expenses.
I would like to get help for my daughter today until the end of her life.
Budget 2025 addressed just that. The government is studying special pathways to help students like Shakira adjust to the working world after they turn 18. The government will also match dollar for dollar up to $10,000, top-ups by lower and middle-income caregivers to trust accounts with the SG Enable and the Special Needs Trust Company. This encourages families to plan ahead for their child's future care needs. This multi-generation family of 7 people will benefit with credits and vouchers that are given to each adult and child, rather than on a household basis. 40-year-old Vadi Velan and 38-year-old Durga have 3 children in primary school. Durga's parents live with them in their 5-room flat.
They are aging, they have ailments that would need attention.
Durga's mother is 61 years old. She has diabetes and a thyroid disorder. She lost her right foot in an accident in her 20s. Durga's father is 67 years old, retired and receives monthly payouts from CPF Life. He needs dialysis treatment 3 times a week. Their medical expenses are heavily subsidized.
Durga's father is also undergoing dialysis. With the announcement to increase subsidies and grants to long-term care, he will benefit from more increased support in terms of to support his medical costs.
Vadi and Durga bear the lion's share of household expenses.
We take care of the very basic needs. My father-in-law does chip in a lot by getting groceries, marketing for the family, because we don't know how to buy fish. So it's a very good example.
When you have more adults living in the same unit, you have more expenses when it comes to utilities, the power bill.
We almost spend about 5 to 6K a month just on needs. This is bills, groceries.
Durga's family is expected to get support of at least $7,000 from this year's budget. There are announcements of SG60 vouchers, SG Life credits that is actually given to each Singaporean or Singaporean child. It increases the quantum of vouchers that they can get to buy groceries and pay for utilities.
The Prime Minister explained why the budget measures have focused on families, seniors, and persons with disabilities.
We want to build a Singapore where we have each other's backs, where no one is left behind, and we continue to stay strong and united as one people.
After the break, when the jobs of today will be quite different from the jobs of the future. How will Budget 2025 help?
Prime Minister and Minister for Finance.
We will do everything we can to develop and realize the potential of all our people.
Budget 2025 unveiled a mix of new and enhanced measures for SkillsFuture, a national movement promoting lifelong learning. Kuni Kong can look forward to upgrading his skills with the new SkillsFuture Workforce Development Grant. This brings together existing Workforce Singapore and SkillsFuture schemes to provide up to 70% funding support for job redesign. He's just 29 years old, but Ni Kong has already had some job redesign training, and is now driving digital transformation at Winner Engineering. The company specializes in the design and installation of air conditioning and mechanical ventilation systems.
To stay relevant, what we had to do is look into digitalization, where it can help to improve our work productivity.
In 2023, Nikong was selected for the Productivity Solutions Grant for Job Redesign, where he gained exposure to new technologies in the market. Then, in 2024, Nikong participated in WSG's Career Conversion Program for Built Environment Professionals.
I was able to have a clear direction and pinpoint to the important skill sets I needed to learn.
Budget 2025 is also making it easier for companies to pay for staff training. The SkillsFuture Enterprise Credit will be redesigned to function like an online wallet. All companies with at least 3 resident employees will get a fresh $10,000 in the redesigned SkillsFuture Enterprise Credit.
Streamlining the different grants together into one, making myself as a project manager easier to identify the specific grants that will potentially benefit myself. This online wallet actually can help to ease the burden of SMEs financially. We can immediately deduct this amount of grant that's actually allocated to us. What can be better if government can assist in providing more help in terms of the application process.
Even when you have programs in place, if people don't know about them, you're going to see a very low take-up rate, right? So the government is, I think, trying to tackle that by making it more user-friendly.
56-year-old Vani Gopalan can look forward to flexible training as well as financial support as her company, ST Logistics, moves towards digitization and sustainability. Building on the SkillsFuture Level Up program introduced in Budget 2024 for mid-career Singaporeans, individuals can now apply for a training allowance of up to $3,000 a month for selected full-time courses from March 2025. A significant change, the training allowance will be extended to part-time training from 2026.
I am planning to spend my SkillsFuture credit for AI-driven procurement and blockchain because I feel technology isn't just changing the way we work, it is redefining it.
The government is acknowledging that some people may have to continue working full-time while also trying to upskill or reskill.
Lower wage workers will also benefit from early upskilling from the age of 30. The Workfare Skills Support Scheme will be enhanced with training allowances. These will also now include longer form courses instead of just short courses.
Lowering that age threshold of 40 for that upskilling program to 30 for lower income workers, I think that's definitely a plus. Workers actually at different stages, at different levels of education, they do need to continue learning and pivoting and adapting.
35-year-old Jackie Chun can look forward to the extension of the Enabling Employment Credit to the end of 2028. This provides up to 20% wage support for people with disabilities who earn below $4,000 a month. He will also be able to increase his retirement savings. The Matched Retirement Savings Scheme has been expanded to include eligible Singaporeans with disabilities. They'll receive a matching grant on cash top-ups to their CPF. Jackie has 2 jobs despite coping with a disability. A road accident when he was 6 left him with a brain injury that affected all his limbs on his right side.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I learned how to use my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand, to learn how to write and do all independent living skills. I do a lot of things like what normal people are doing.
As a retail perfumer and experiential host with Scentopia, he helps customers formulate their unique perfume scents via personality tests. He got the full-time job in mid-December 2024 after much struggle to find employment.
I feel that there's still a gap in the workforce for company to hire a person with disability. So there's still a stigma.
In 2016, Jackie connected with SG Enable, a government-led charity for the disabled community in search of employment. He got a job as a freelance docent guide at the Enabling Village in 2023. That led to a permanent part-time role with Ludus Lab in 2024, offering a fixed monthly income with schedule flexibility.
We have a shortage of manpower or woman power, and we have a lot of people who maybe their abilities or their capabilities are a little more niche, right? But that's not to say that they're incapable of working.
Opportunities for businesses in Budget 2025. Take a look at how some companies are planning to increase their use of AI and push further in R&D.
Let me start by addressing concerns over rising costs.
Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong has unveiled a budget that offers critical opportunities for businesses to grow and cut costs. The measures position Singapore to stand out with high-value solutions and attract global investments. For firms like MoveOn Technologies, the new Enterprise Compute initiative that offers access to AI tools is very timely.
I think this is very exciting for us. Many of our processes are still very manual. We're hoping to leverage on AI to help us reduce our dependence on manual work. So kind of like automate it so that we can be more productive.
AI has shown the potential to be a game changer for all businesses. This will enable businesses, particularly SMEs, to harness AI's potential to boost productivity and differentiate their products and solutions. Smaller businesses may need more help to overcome challenges around data security, upskilling talent to adopt AI.
MoveOn Technologies started in 2006 and specializes in the design and manufacture of optics and optoelectronics components. These tiny components are used in many industries, like the flash lens on mobile devices. MoveOn is also looking forward to the billion-dollar investment in research and development infrastructure. MoveOn allocates about 30% of its profits on R&D to create new technologies needed by its customers overseas.
It is super critical. I can't overly emphasize that. As an SME, we do not have the ability to invest in so many equipment and infrastructures, right? So any investments that help with defraying costs on R&D, like the investments in a very high-end equipment, would be welcome news to us.
From 7 people, MoveOn Technologies now has around 140 staff and generates annual revenue in the tens of millions. It needs funding, not just for new hires, but also for the existing workforce.
We only can have access to the grant or benefit from the grant if we employ new hires. But what about the existing hires?
It's currently developing the use of inkjets to print optical parts in 3D to reduce cost.
We are in a critical spot where a lot of customers will require our competence to help them grow as well.
Coffee shop chain Kopi Fellas is looking forward to the corporate tax rebate. Tax-paying companies will get a rebate of 50% of their payable tax.
The corporate tax of 50% rebate, I think that's really helpful. Businesses has been struggling ever since coming out from COVID, inflation has been hitting us.
With rising costs, this year's corporate income tax rebate will provide significant help, especially to smaller and medium enterprises.
Kopi Fellas is already tapping into AI with its invoicing and finance. But it's hoping that AI could help it understand its customers better.
What I'm looking at now is on the digital marketing side.
Since it started as a hawker stall in 2017, Kopi Fellas now has 17 outlets in Singapore and 1 store in New York. Its focus on making coffee the traditional way is a big draw for customers in a highly saturated space. But the rising price of coffee beans and finding manpower are constant challenges. Kopi Fellas has since applied for various government grants to automate its hiring and procurement systems. Kopi Fellas can also tap into the Uplifting Employment Credit, which supports the reintegration of ex-offenders.
We do have a few staff from the Yellow Ribbon project, so we are always participating in that as well.
This is an inclusive budget with measures for both businesses, individuals and families. It also puts businesses and our workers in stronger positions for the future economic growth.
It creates a lot of opportunities for Singaporeans, the average citizens, to be able to upskill themselves, to adapt to a new environment which is full of risks, including external trade risks.
Threats of a trade war and its impact will likely haunt businesses.
The Private Credit Growth Fund expands financing options for local high-growth enterprises, particularly amidst the uncertain economic outlook. This may potentially serve as a lifeline for homegrown enterprises who are finding it challenging to raise capital in the environment of high interest rates and lesser funding options.
Experts say Budget 2025 has laid out an economic roadmap that will bode well in the long term.
There's also a strong push for Singapore's relevance on global stage with investments in innovation, technology and talent. With the rollout of global minimum tax, countries are adjusting their incentive regimes to be more competitive in attracting foreign direct investment. The $3 billion National Productivity Top-up will enable the government to enhance its investment toolkit, to give more cash grants and investment credits to attract companies and make Singapore more relevant in line with OECD requirements.
Prime Minister Wong says this budget sets out clear plans for Singapore in its new phase of nation building as it marks 60 years of independence this year.
We want Singapore to be a place where exciting ventures develop and grow into the leading enterprises of the future. The road ahead will not be without challenges, but I am confident that our best days lie ahead of us.